In Dragon Ball, Master Roshi was one of the perviest and thirstiest characters in all of anime. He's done so many ridiculous things that we don't know whether to laugh or cringe when we're reminded of them. When he isn't chasing girls, however, he's demonstrating his amazing powers, and we'll be sure to talk about a few of those moments too. In this video, we're going to talk about all the times Master Roshi crossed the line in Dragon Ball, both in power and in decency. Trust us, he's done that many times, and these are exactly the moments to focus on. In Dragon Ball, the main goal was to obtain the Dragon Balls. It seems pretty obvious. Bulma wants the Dragon Balls to wish for the perfect boyfriend, and Goku, well, he's really just along for the adventure. It may sound ridiculous now, but the Dragon Balls mattered a lot more back then. When it comes to getting these wish-granting balls, Bulma would do anything to get her hands on them. And boy do we mean anything. Early on in the show, they meet Master Roshi, the turtle hermit who seems to have come across the 3-star Dragon Ball. Bulma sees it and says she'll do anything for it. Roshi, being the lonely and perverted old man he is, asks if he can see her underpants. Always the go-getter, Bulma ends up flashing Roshi, showing him a lot more than either of them bargained for. Roshi had only asked for a look at her underoos, but what Bulma didn't know was that when she was sleeping, Goku, the curious breaker of boundaries he was, removed Bulma's skivvies, leaving her completely unprotected. With the Dragon Ball on the line, if you got the goods, you use what you can, apparently. We all know Goku to be the wielder of the Kamehameha, but he would never have known it had Master Roshi not taught it to him. And Krillin and Yamcha. The Kamehameha is perhaps the most well-known attack in all of Dragon Ball. Fans young and old know the name and have certainly imitated it way more times than they're happy to admit. Just like when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time, the first Kamehameha was something to behold, even if it came from such an unassuming man. The gang is faced with the Ox King's burning castle, which Master Roshi can put out with just one blast. After taking off his turtle shell and shirt, the scrawny old man bulks up to Incredible Hulk levels. After harnessing his energy, he unleashes a devastating Kamehameha wave that extinguishes the fire, but also destroys the whole castle in the process. Stunned beyond belief, Goku begs Master Roshi to teach him the move. Roshi merely laughs and says it'll take 50 years before Goku's ready to do the Kamehameha. However, Roshi still agrees to show Goku the ropes. Despite saying it would take 50 years, Goku manages to fire one off, destroying Yamcha's car, the first of many Kamehamehas for Goku. While Master Roshi is a master martial artist, his services do not come cheap. You want the best? You gotta pay the best. Though Roshi doesn't want money. Nope, he wants a date. Taking advantage of Goku's naivete and his willingness to be trained, Roshi tells Goku he will train him if he can snag Roshi a gal, a girl to take on a date. Goku doesn't seem to get it, but is optimistic about the challenge. With that settled, Roshi gives Goku some criteria. He wants someone not too old, but not too young. Some great skin and a sense of humor would be nice. While Goku doesn't really understand what skin has to do with it, he sets off to find Roshi a date. There is one thing he can say about Goku. Sure knows how to pick him. What Goku eventually ends up bringing home to Master Roshi at first seems like a 10 out of 10, yet it turns out Goku brought him a mermaid. So, like a 9.5 out of 10. Hey, still in the green though. Of course, while Goku brought her to the island, Roshi's extremely pervy charm drove her away and back into the sea, leaving the hermit high and dry. Remember Launch? We remember Launch. While she was virtually a no-show in Dragon Ball Z, she was a pretty important character in the original Dragon Ball. And by important, we mean she provided a lot of fan service when Bulma was not around. Launch was a carefree, sweet girl for the most part, well, until she sneezed, that is. We'll get back to that part in a moment. Krillin and Goku picked her up and had her live with Master Roshi. She ticked all of Master Roshi's boxes for the perfect girlfriend. What could possibly go wrong? The short answer is everything. One of Roshi's more out-there moments was when he wanted to see Launch in more revealing clothes, so she agrees and meets Roshi and the boys outside wearing a black and pink lingerie leotard and stockings. Launch is embarrassed that they're all wearing sexy underwear. Always fast on his feet, Roshi lies and says that the garments they are all wearing is in fact hermit fighting armor. This fools absolutely nobody. Before the lesson could begin, a fly buzzes past her, causing Launch to sneeze, turning her hair from blue to blonde and turning her from sweet carefree girl to the hardened gun-toting criminal. The good times end right there for Roshi. While Goku lands Roshi a great half-fish, half-cutie, he doesn't really land on the mark the first time. Nope, Goku brings back what he thinks Roshi wants in a woman, someone big and strong. As a result, Goku's first lesson from Roshi is not martial arts related, but on what he wants in a girlfriend. After showing 2 different pics to Goku, it's safe to say Goku has a lot simpler tastes when it comes to women. Well, it's more accurate to say that he has just no tastes. And this is mostly due to the fact that, he's a little kid in Dragon Ball. Even if he has to dodge a few bullets, it'll all be worth it to have a cute, helpful girlfriend like Launch around the house, right? Well, like every good comedy routine, there needs to be a comic foil. Something to ruin everything for our hero. Roshi's never-ending pursuit of girls is often foiled by bad luck or bad timing. One such instance was when Launch made dinner for the gang. All seemed well, the food looked good, and Launch set the table with a large tub of rice, causing the table to buckle. Roshi, the doddering old fool, dropped his chopsticks and went under the table to get them. There he could see his target better, Launch, or rather her skirt. Now armed with his nimble chopsticks, all he had to do was take a quick peek. He got the hem. Now he just needed to crash. And the table breaks and the rice lands right on top of him. Foiled again. It becomes clear to Roshi that if he is to enjoy the sights of a woman, he is going to have to get a little creative. After all, he has no Dragon Balls to grant his every wish. Yet. What he does have is Bulma's Shrink Watch, a handy little gadget that can shrink the wearer down to size and allow them to sneak around undetected. Now, the words sneak and undetected are extremely useful to Roshi, though not in the traditional sense. Armed with this watch, he has a plan. He plans to use the watch to peep like the dirty old man he is. Yet we return to our foil. This time it is timing. When Bulma goes to use the bathroom, Roshi follows, only for him to be too late. And for the perverted old fool to be flushed down the toilet. Foiled again. In Dragon Ball, after Piccolo is defeated, the gang splits up to train and go their separate ways. They reunite after 3 years just in time for another fighting tournament. Master Roshi's there, and Bulma arrives all grown up, much to Roshi's delight. He's not seen the blue-haired beauty for 3 years. So what does he do? First things first, just take a grab, just like old times. Of course, the minute he lays hands on her, Bulma delivers a devastating elbow to the nose. He might be a master martial artist, but he can never dodge the righteous strike of a woman rebuffing his advances and giving him what for. While he may be down, Roshi is nothing if not persistent. When a child loses her balloon, Bulma's quick to help out, but can't reach. Roshi suggests giving Bulma a boost, which Bulma rejects flat out. Roshi likes to chase the ladies and pine after cute girls, but when it comes to fighting, that's when he becomes a serious and laser-focused man. Just kidding, he's actually just as vulnerable to his appetites as ever, even when he's fighting. In Dragon Ball, Roshi enters the World Martial Arts Tournament under the alias Jackie Chun. Subtle, right? He goes up against Krillin. The student realizes that he can't fight Roshi using normal means, and must think of a way to catch him off guard, which is why he throws out a pair of white panties to distract him. Not so surprisingly, it works, and Krillin delivers an impressive kick that sends Roshi flying. Krillin delivered such a powerful kick that it actually sent Master Roshi out of the ring. Had it not been for the Kamehameha, Roshi would have lost his match. In Dragon Ball Super, Roshi is pitted against a female fighter who is denied entrance into Tien's dojo. Master Roshi has the edge on the battle, but before he could land a blow, she slipped to reveal what was under her skirt, distracting Roshi enough so that she could land a hit on Roshi's boys, completely defeating the Turtle Hermit. In this fight, we see the Star Pupil take on the Master as Goku squares off against Roshi. The two seem evenly matched, with Roshi just squeaking out ahead. Even with his Saiyan biology, Goku is just a child against a martial arts master. Yet Goku has a hidden power he is not fully aware of. During a full moon, Goku transforms into the mighty Uzaru, a great ape capable of great power and destruction. While Master Roshi can handle himself in a fight, he might have trouble with a great ape. Given this matchup, there is only one thing left to do: vaporize Goku with a Kamehameha. Roshi charges up his energy, focusing on Goku. To everyone's dismay, Roshi seems set on destroying him. He soon launches the attack and it misses, or so they thought. Nope, instead Roshi did the next logical thing and blew up the moon. Never mind the fact that he managed to make a blast capable of destroying a moon with a 1,079.4 mile radius, but it also traveled 238,000 miles in a matter of seconds. Also, he blew up the freaking moon! When you need to train with the best and you have no money or no woman to offer, what do you give the Turtle Hermit? You give him the next best thing, girly magazines. And no, we're not talking about Cosmo. In Dragon Ball, our first introduction to Krillin is in episode 14, after Goku strikes out to find Master Roshi a girlfriend. The pint-sized bald-headed monk arrives bearing gifts for the Turtle Hermit in exchange for training him. Roshi obviously accepts, overjoyed by the generosity of this strange bald monk child. When watching this scene, one has to ask, how did Krillin come to possess these mags? How would he know where to find them if he's supposedly a monk? Despite his religious background, young Krillin proves to be just as perverted as Roshi on occasion. In Dragon Ball Super, everyone's gotten older, but everything stays the same. Krillin, in preparation for the Tournament of Power, needs a refresher course from Roshi. In exchange, he offers Roshi another magazine. Keep in mind, by this point, Krillin is a husband and father. How he got a girly mag past Android 18 is beyond us. Lord only knows what would have happened had she found it. Oolong's main talent is transforming into many different things, objects, people, you name it. This makes him a valued member of the team in Dragon Ball. While he can transform into more practical things, there are 2 instances where Oolong uses his powers for more perverse reasons. In exchange for helping them out, Master Roshi demands a date from Bulma. Bulma agrees, but for obvious reasons would rather not indulge the pervy hermit. Instead, she asks Oolong to take her place. The shape-shifting Porker agrees, and his first attempt at transforming results in a shorter, stockier Bulma. Bulma, having a high opinion of herself, is not really pleased with being portrayed like this, but Oolong gets it right the second time. While he can mimic how Bulma looks, he can't mimic her voice. This doesn't bother Roshi at all, and is pleased to see a version of Bulma who is more accepting of his advances. While Bulma asks Oolong to shapeshift into her, she is not happy with how much fun the pint-sized pig is having with her body. To Roshi, it's all the same. With the exception of Launch, Roshi usually pines after women who are not fighters. So what happens when he goes after one of the most powerful women in the Dragon Ball franchise, Android 18? During the Majin Saga, Majin Vegeta goes on a little bit of a rampage and ends up murdering a few people here and there. No big deal, right? Well, actually it is a big deal since Vegeta's supposed to be a good guy. To solve this, Bulma and the rest of the gang go to find the Dragon Balls and bring back the people Vegeta killed. While on the hunt for the wish-granting balls, Yamcha makes a crash landing with the Capsule Corp plane. As a result, Roshi ends up face first in Android 18's chest. 18, with Marin in hand, is understandably pissed at the old perv lingering on her chest and proceeds to break his neck. It's one thing to put the moves on a woman while in a crash landing, and it's another thing if that woman happens to be the most powerful woman in the franchise. However, it is an entirely other thing if you linger on her chest while her infant daughter is watching. Not cool, Roshi. During the Tournament of Power, the entire universe is on the line. Everyone is there to fight for the survival of their universe, so no more messing around. The Z-Fighters enlist the help of Master Roshi, Earth's strongest human. To train for this tournament, Master Roshi not only perfects his techniques, but also sharpens his mind to suppress his more pervy urges. This training is put to the test when he's matched up against Kawe from Universe 4. Shortly into the fight, Kawe realizes she can't defeat him with strength alone. She then decides to pull out the oldest trick in the book, seducing your opponent. She puts on an impressive display, which seems to work not only on Master Roshi, but also Old Kai. Roshi leaps to embrace Kawe, but she has other plans and tries to lance him. However, Roshi was faking the entire time. No more will he be distracted by frivolous pleasures. All his skirt-chasing energy is now focused on defeating Kawe. His determination and magma-hot energy is too much for her, and she leaps out of the ring in sheer terror. After that last fight, Roshi is done with his old perverted ways. His next female opponent after Kawe is Dekuri, a sneaky sorceress who uses talismans to create illusions. Roshi is at a disadvantage for this one. He can't overcome this opponent with strength alone like Goku and the rest. Thankfully, he doesn't have to. A real martial artist thinks of ways to beat his opponents with both brains and brawn. And with Master Roshi's years as a fighter, he has both in spades. Roshi defeats Dekuri with the most devastating attack he knows, the Evil Containment Wave, also known as the Mafuba. This wasn't Roshi's first Mafuba either. He used the same technique to contain King Piccolo and even tries to use it later on in the Tournament of Power. Not only did Master Roshi defeat another female opponent, he did so without an ounce of perversion. No ogling or anything the old Master Roshi would have done. We'd almost say we're proud of him for this kind of character development, if it not for the fact that literally every other character in the series knows how to keep their hands to themselves. Still, progress is progress, even if it is something so basic. And those were just some of the ways Roshi crossed the line in both power and decency. Personally, we liked the fight with Kawe. It's a mix of how pervy Roshi can be while also showing he's a real fighter. What was your favorite entry? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more Dragon Ball videos.